Welcome to the Art of Living with a Dog. I'm Tamara Tokash, a master dog expert with a fresh perspective in everyday wellness protocols, hacks, and products for both ends of the leash, stemming the tide so you and your dog can thrive. I've questioned the norms and connected the dots to forge a unique path that truly transforms how you and your free-spirited companion live. Let's get digging.
Welcome back to the Art of Living with a Dog. In this episode, Tamara shares the 10 essential habits that set you and your dog up for successful house training. These aren't quick fixes. They're sustainable practices rooted in understanding, communication, and consistency. If you're ready to move from frustration to flow, this is the guidance you've been waiting for.
The other day, I put a video out on the 10 mistakes that people make when they're trying to house train their puppy, their dog. And so today's video is going to be the 10 mores or the 10 habits to adopt so that it can get and help both you and your dog be on your way to be house trained. So number one, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. It's so easy if you just pay attention. I'm going to be doing a video next time, and it's all on body language. But for right now, all I'll say as part of the number one habit to adopt is learn your dog's body language. So do what are called body scans and watch your dog from the tip of their nose to the tip of their tail. And you will learn, and every dog is different, you will learn different signs that they are approaching having to eliminate. Before I get into the remaining 9, I do want to just say one thing about like body language and signals and all of this. So many people say to me, well, my dog is not telling me he has to go out. Well, but that's because dogs don't typically do that. Some dogs do, but most dogs don't. So if you're trying to house train your dog and you're sitting there waiting for your dog to give you some kind of like sign or signal, you're wasting your time and you're losing time because your dog is probably having accidents. And the other thing that is really important to note here is that every time your dog has an accident, and like I said in the other video, accidents are just that. They're just accidents. So you just have to move on from it. Is that every time your dog eliminates, you and your dog are that much further away from being successful in understanding the whole concept of house training. So therefore, it goes back to the importance of paying attention, because if you're paying attention, it's very, very unlikely that you're going to miss something. So pay attention. Number 2, you need to have your dog on a 6-foot leash. Your dog can't be outside if you're trying to house train them. Even if you have a fenced in yard, they cannot be outside without being on a leash. The 6-foot leash I'm talking about is just a nylon or a leather, especially nylon if you have a puppy, because they'll want to they're going to want to chew both, but at least a nylon one is cheap. And a leather one would entice them to want to chew on the leash. But that's a chewing topic. But get them on a 6-foot leash. Do not be tricked by big box stores in getting them on a retractable leash. You need a 6-foot leash. Number 3, bring them to the same location. So whatever that location is, and everyone has a different layout on their, where they live. And I would suggest that you think through this location if you're in a place where you're impacted by seasons. So if you're picking a location at the far end of your property and you're in the Northeast, that's probably not like a really realistic location, because then when it's ice and snow, no one's going to want to walk back there. So find a place that is perfect for any season and where you want your dog to learn to use as their main bathroom location. Number 4, come up with keywords and make sure the keywords are specific to the activity and that they're also just logical. Like, don't do your business is too nebulous. What do you mean do your business? Does that mean urinate or does that mean defecate? So what I use with my dogs, it's go pee pee and go poo poo. That's it. That way, if I'm not here with them and I have somebody coming in to take them out, that's just a very, again, logical set of words, or go pee and go poo. They're very, very similar to each other. Number 5, when your dog's going to the bathroom, and this is especially important when you have a young dog, they have a really short attention span, and you want to make sure that you're praising them, which I'll get to in a moment. But when they start to go, just let them complete whatever they're doing. And then as soon as they're done, then you praise them. So just think of it kind of like you put a do not disturb on a bathroom, that you just don't want to disturb them when they're going. Number 6, it plays on their scent recognition. So sometimes what happens when people are outside with their dog just, for one reason or another, they're just not really sure where to establish a location. But like I said earlier, you're going to come up with the location. But to try to just help them along, a really good tip here is when they go to the bathroom, and you can do this wherever you want. You can blot, and you can even do it if and when they have an accident in the house, which it happens. Just blot it up. Don't use any chemicals. Don't use any cleaner. Just blot it up so you have urine on the paper towel. And then for the next 24 hours, that paper towel is going to go outside in the location that you choose, or you and your dog choose together as the bathroom place. And that's for urine. And you can do the same exact thing for when they defecate. Again, you're not leaving piles of poop in your backyard, because that creates a whole other myriad of problems. You're leaving one little elimination pile in the location, and then you'll dispose of it every day. And you do that for a couple of weeks, and then you should be a really tidy dog parent, where they go to the bathroom, you check it, you pick it up, and you dispose of it properly. So that's number 6. Number 7 is triggers. So I think people oftentimes think, well, my dog is going to have to go to the bathroom after they eat and after they drink, which is true. But there are other triggers that create a dog to either be thirsty, or where they just have to eliminate. And so what are those? After they play, they're going to have to eliminate. And it's usually urinating after they play. And puppies, especially, they need something to chew on, a really effective chew toy. So when they're chewing, it elicits thirst. And so then you have to offer them water. And if they're drinking water, then they're going to eliminate more often than normally. And then the biggest one that most people just are not aware of is sleep. So when a dog is sleeping, again, particularly a puppy, at the second that puppy is awake, even if you have to scoop the puppy up and carry them outside, because I can almost guarantee you, if you sit there and dawdle with the leash or the harness, the leash, this, that, your dog's going to have an accident, and then you're setting your dog up to fail. So even if you have to scoop the puppy up and bring them outside to the bathroom spot, that's a great way to make sure that your dog is learning how to be house trained. Number 8, praise, praise, praise. We all like to be told we're doing a good job, and dogs have all of the same emotions, or almost all the same emotions as we do. They do not have spite. So once your dog has gone to the bathroom, you're going to praise them. You can verbally praise them. You can physically praise them. And then you can also, thirdly, like I mentioned in the previous video, you can give them a high value food as a reward. And you can even double the reward, which would be you give them a reward when they're done, and you would pair it with the word good pee-pee, and then, or good poop. And then as a secondary reward, because if you're house training them, you're typically, you're more than likely you more than likely have a dog that is new to your home. And so if that's the case, you can do a kind of like a 2-for-1 learning here, where you're rewarding your dog for going to the bathroom outside, and then teach them the importance of heading back inside. And then you can give them a reward for going in the house. So that's number 8. Number 9 is, and this is one of the most common issues that I was going to put in the last video, but this is really more of a what to do rather than what not to do, is people will take their dogs to the bathroom. They'll do whatever. The dog's on a leash, the dog's off a leash, they use a cue word, they do this, they do that. And the dog doesn't go to the bathroom. And then they bring the dog in, and then the dog has an accident. The reason why the dog is having an accident is they either stayed outside too long, and the dog's now totally distracted, and the dog is confused. And then the dog came inside, and the dog was not supervised. And the dog's not supervised, but the dog now is not as distracted because they're not outside. And they have all this space because they're not confined, and they have an accident. And so now you regressed. And it doesn't have to be like that. So if your dog does not go to the bathroom after that 3 to 5 minute mark, like I mentioned in the previous video, you're going to calmly and politely bring your dog back inside. And you're doing one of two things. You're either keeping your dog on a leash, and you're just watching your dog, not staring at your dog, but you're going to know the reason why you're keeping the dog on a leash. It serves as 2 purposes. Your dog can't go anywhere. And hopefully you will know if your dog is going to the bathroom, if they're at the end of that leash. And, so you keep them on a leash. And if you don't want to do that, then you would just very calmly put them in their house, a wire crate, and you just say, all right, buddy, go in your house. And you leave them in there 10 minutes, maybe 15 if you're not really sure if they have to go to the bathroom. And you repeat 1 through 8 all over again. That's it. And you do that every 10 to 15 minutes, and it just depends on every dog. One other important part here is if your dog, when you bring your dog inside and they have not eliminated outside, if they happen to go inside, even if they finish going inside to go to the bathroom, you need to immediately take them outside. Don't sit there and start cleaning it up, because timing is really critical with the dog's learning ability. And so if you're interrupting a sequence of events, they don't have this connecting ability to pull it all together. So if they start to go, you can scoop them up mid-pee and bring them out. Or if they have, like I said, if they finish going to the bathroom And you're still going to bring them outside, and you're going to bring them to their spot, and you're going to remind them that that is the spot you're supposed to go to. And you're going to use the appropriate cue word, go pee pee or what have you. And this is where you're going to be tested. You have to resist reacting. You have to resist yelling, moaning, sighing, whatever it is, stomping, and use this as your opportunity to show up for your dog and to be a really good guide to them, and they will learn. Number 10 is cleaning, because dogs have, as most people know, this impeccable scent of ability of their scent. Their olfactory system is so sophisticated. And if we're using a chemical to clean the floor where they've gone to the bathroom and it has ammonia in it, urine has ammonia in it. So if you're spraying, let's just say Windex that has ammonia in it on the floor, you're basically spraying urine all over the floor, and you're communicating to the dog, all right, this is where there's urine. Make sure you come back here and pee here again. So you don't want to do that. Not to mention, I mean, Windex it's a chemical and it's not safe, and they test on beagles, and there's a lot of different problems with using Windex. So just use an enzymatic cleaner. Um, I'm going to put a link below of one or two really good enzymatic cleaners that you can use that are chemical free. And not only are they great for cleaning everything up, but I use them on sofas, on rugs. They're great stain removers and what have you. So that's it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I hope that helps. Happy house training.
With these 10 habits in place, house training becomes less about discipline and more about connection. Remember, your dog wants to succeed. They just need you to show them how. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned. There's more coming to help you and your dog thrive together.